welcome to SATV News. This is Nahin Tahir with our headlines. Prime Minister urged authorities concerned to integrate the development of Cox's Bazar beach with the nature and environment. Overall flood situation in Sylhet district showed no sign of improvement, some rivers still flowing above the danger level. High Court cancelled the bail granted to expel Jubilee League leader Shamrad in graft case, also asked to surrender before lower court within 7 days. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today asked authorities concerned to integrate the development of Cox's Bazar beach with the nature, trees and environment. The Prime Minister said this while inaugurating the newly constructed multi-storied building of Cox's Bazar Development Authority in the seafront resort town. The program was held at Bir Mukti Juddha Field in Cox's Bazar while she joined virtually from her official residence, Gaurav Bhavan. She also put emphasis on protecting people from the natural calamities through preserving nature. Extreme volatility continues in the dollar market. The price per dollar has risen to Dhaka 102. This price is 14 Dhaka more than the government price. Despite the government's effort to keep prices down, the open market is out of control. In case of import, traders have to pay 10 to 14 Dhaka more per dollar. Also, remittances have declined due to lower government rates. The reserve has started to fall. Economists say that if it continues like this for a long time, disaster will come down in the national economy. The overall flood situation in Sylhet district showed no signs of improvement on Wednesday, with some rivers still flowing above the danger level. Officials said that all the rivers of the districts were full to the brim due to the onrush of hilly waters from the upstream and incessant rains over the past several days. The Surma, the Kushiara in particular are flowing above the danger level. The low-lying areas of the districts have already been flooded, rendering nearly 3 lakh people maroon, officials said. Meanwhile, a vast tract of the bordering areas of Goin Ghat, Kampaniganj, Kanyan Ghat, Jointapur and Zakiganj Upazila have also been inundated. Besides, in Sylhet city, several roads have gone under the water with floodwaters entering a number of government establishments. The High Court on Wednesday cancelled the bail granted to expel Jubilee League leader Ismail Hussain Chaudhry Shamrad in a graft case. A two-judge bench of Justice Muhammad Nazrul Islam Talukdar and Qazi Muhammad Izarul Haq Akundo passed the order. The court also asked Shamrad to surrender before a lower court within 7 days, said Deputy Attorney General AGM Amin Uddin. Earlier on May 16, the ACC filed a petition before the High Court seeking cancellation of the bail of Shamrad in the graft case. On May 11, the Dhaka court granted bail to Shamrad in the graft case, paving the way for his release from judicial custody. Commerce Minister Tipu Munshi today said that the government would start providing essential commodities to 1 crore people through family cards at subsidized rate from June 1st. The minister made the comment at a press briefing after holding the second meeting of task force in the ministry conference room. The Commerce Minister said the government would not sell essential through the open market, says OMS operation of the Trading Corporation of Bangladesh at the moment. If the OMS operation resumes, only the family card holders would be able to purchase from there, he said. The RAB has arrested 2 people as well as key figures of the ring who snatched money from contractors by defaming important people of the state, including members of the Bangabandhu family. They were arrested from the capital's platoon last night. Recently, the name of the brokers who got the job of extracting sands in the Titash and Ariel Khan rivers came up in the investigation of the intelligence agency. A clique led by the Mansoor has been lobbying for contracts for various development projects with close ties to the family members, including Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her sister Sheikh Rihanna. Saifu, one of the leaders of the clique, used to control this work from Dubai. Recently, the fraudsters have swindled crores of Dhaka by giving false promises to get sand mining in Titash and Aryalka rivers. This information was presented at the press conference by the Director of Law and Media Branch of the RAB. The court has directed the trial of the three persons, including businessman Nasiruddin Muhammad and Tuhin Siddiqui in the case of rape and attempted murder of his girlfriend at the boat club. At the same time, Judge Himayatuddin of the Women and Child Abuse Suppression Tribunal 9 fixed August 9 as the date for taking evidence in the case. However, the three accused, including Nasir, pled not guilty during the fraying of the charges. Their lawyers said the allegations mentioned in the statement were not in the charge sheet. According to the charge sheet, allegations have been made in several sections. There are allegations of indecency in it. Defendant lawyers are hoping that the accused will be acquitted. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back, and you're watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. Early next week, US President Joe Biden will launch a long-awaited economic initiative aimed at increasing Washington's involvement in Asia. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo said the US and its allies will establish the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework during the President Biden's visit to Asia from May 20th to 24th, a trip that will take him to Japan and South Korea. She further explained that the Biden administration is extremely enthusiastic about the initiative, which is seen as a way to counter China's growing influence across Asia. The framework is set to be joined by US partners and allies in the region, including South Korea, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. US investigators believe some on board deliberately crashed a China Eastern flight in March, the Wall Street Journal reported Tuesday, in what was China's deadliest air disaster in decades. So-called black box flight data recorders recovered from the site were sent to the United States for analysis. That data showed that someone, possibly a pilot or someone who had forced their way into the cockpit, input orders to send the Boeing 737-800 into a nosedive, according to the Wall Street Journal. China Eastern Flight MU-5375 was traveling from Kunming to Guangzhou on March 21st when it inexplicably plunged from an altitude of 29,000 feet into the mountains, killing at least 132 people on board. More than 500,000 people have fled their homes in India and northeastern state of Assam to escape heavy floods triggered by pre-monsoon rains. The Brahmaputra, which flows into the India and neighboring Bangladesh from Tibet, burst its bank in Assam over the last 3 days, inundating more than 500 villages. Torrential rain lashed most of the rock state, and downpour continued on Wednesday, with more forecast over the next 2 days. More than 260 Ukrainian soldiers have been evacuated from the besieged port of Mariupol after being trapped for more than 2 months in the Azovstal steel plant. They included more than 53 Ukrainian soldiers who were severely wounded. This comes after Russia agreed to evacuate the injured Ukrainian troops for treatment in a town held by Russian-backed rebels. Ukraine's Deputy Defense Minister said the troops will be exchanged later for captured Russians. A huge rock tunnels has been found running from Tijuana in Mexico to a warehouse in San Diego in the U.S. With a length of 1,744 feet, the passage had a rail track electricity and a ventilation system. U.S. authorities had been carrying out surveillance at a property previously used as a stash house for smuggling cocaine when they made the discovery. They seized cocaine, methamphetamine and heroin. 6 people are being held on drug trafficking charges. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan Tuesday urged the Supreme Court to hear the alleged corruption case against Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and his family after he hailed the top court's decision on Article 63A. However, the majority of judges refused to allow the parliamentarians from voting against the party directive under the 4 instances mentioned in Article 63A of the Constitution. Besides, in his address during the Kohad Jalsa, the PTI chairman praised the Supreme Court's decision and said the apex court, with the verdict, has ensured Pakistan's morality does not diminish. The current heat wave sweeping across India and Pakistan was consistent with what experts have come to expect in changing climate. However, the head of global weather body, Professor Petri Thalasis, has said that it was premature to attribute the extreme heat in South Asia solely to the phenomena of climate change. The World Meteorological Organization (WMO) officials said the heat wave have multiplied and cascading impacts not just on human health but also on ecosystem, agriculture, water, energy and supplies and key sectors of the economy. Before ending, we go through the headlines again. Prime Minister urged authorities concerned to integrate the development of Cox's Bazar beach with the nature and environment. Overall flood situation in Sylhet district showed no sign of improvement, some rivers still flowing above the danger level. High Court cancelled the bail granted to expel Jubilee League leader Shamrat in graft case, also asked to surrender before lower court within 7 days. You're up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest in SATV news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with us.